Hey guys, in this Satisfactory video, I am going to teach you the basics about trains and how to get them to work. So one of the problems is when you first start your little train system and you want to do a one-line thing, it doesn't really want to go back and forth and do everything properly for you. If you had any problems at all, that is, you might have got it perfect, who knows. But here we go to the train station here, and the arrow is where the train is going to be coming into, not the way it's going. So that's where I got my confusion and I had to work it out. But yeah, so this arrow, this station here, this is where your starting station is, and the train is going to go to your right. So you put this thing arrow so it's facing to your left. So that is where the train is going to come in and it's going to stop. So it's the entry point into your station. So this is where it comes in, and this is the cargo bay for it. And then your train will come in here, and then it will stop, and it'll be a dead end, and it has to go the other direction. So you need another train on the other end, another engine on the other side. And then it will automatically just go to the next station once you set it up. And the next station here, of course, this station here, it would be your second station, and this arrow is facing in that direction. And it stops here, and it will unload its cargo, and then it will go back to the other station with this one here. So that's the basic, easy setup from point A to point B, one line, no mess. And to set it up in here, you just go to your edit your timetable, and it's just add plus A, and then add station B, and then that's it. You're done. And it'll just go back and forth. And if you, let's go back to the timetable there, sorry. And if you add a third station, you just add it as C. So then I'll go A to B, and then it'll go to station C, and then on its way back, it'll just go right to station A again. Unless you build a more complex system of your bases and things like that, and add more stations for it to stop in. So this is an example. If you get to station like, 1, 3, and 5 stations later, and it gets too confusing with all the different carts being backwards and forwards, and depending on where you want to stop, and you have to do a whole bunch of stations in one location facing each direction type of deal, and you just want to do a one train system to keep track of your cargo a lot easier. You can do a system like this. For an example, is you can have a nice little turnaround here, and to get these nice 45-degree angles like this, you can see you just use this 1, 2, 3 over, and then 1, 2, 3 across, and then you can just place your train tracks like that and get the nice 45-degree angle turn, and then repeat the process for each one like so, right? Right over top of it, and go around in a circle, and then when you come over to the last part right here, the trains will automatically merge. There's no mess involved, except it looks kind of messy, but it has an automatic switch that pops up. As you can see there, like if I come over there, it's an automatic switch, but you just come into there and it will lock in like that, and then you just build your train track like there, and then you'll get your switch, and it'll automatically just go around the circle for you. So this train here, for an example, is, it's going to unload cargo D and cargo A on the first bed, and then the second bed. That's when it's going to unload. This is like your main base, pretend, and you want to unload these two products here. And your train will come around here, then go back this way, nice and simple, turns around, and it goes into your next station, wherever that station is. And here it comes into your station B, and then this station here is just a, you have 3 different products, and maybe you have on this station here, that's why it's so big, and you want to have one of these products to go back to this station, but time doesn't matter, it's going to be coming back and forth anyways, because you have a second product that you want back over there. That'd be product D, and so product A would be right here on the first one right here. So this would be loaded up and go to that station over there, but you want to do that on the way back. So on the way back, it comes to this station here, which is of course facing that direction. It stops here. There's an empty space because that trailer is that whatever you call it, the cargo bed is going to be full, and then you're going to load this cargo up here. So this train comes into this station here, and it stops right here, and it will load up these 2 cargoes for you as an example. And so it loads up these cargo, and you want to go to your next station and drop it off, and maybe this station here has the goods like gas or whatever you need that get processed, and that just needs all that stuff. So this station here will unload the items from this one here, which were item B and item C, So this one here on this station here unloads those items. It processes them. It goes to the other part of the station and stops, and it will load up item D after it's done doing all its work. So you got your item that you want, item D here. You do a turnaround. You go back through the station. You stop at your second station. You pick up your cargo in the other bed, and then you go over and go back to your main base and unload your cargo, which is, one of the typical setups you might end up doing if you have to keep going back and forth with different products and say, hey, I'm just going to process it over there and bring the ingredients and then bring the finished product back, instead of trying to transport gas and all that kind of stuff and all those things. That starts to get more complicated later on. You're just going to want to use a train system to fix that for you. And to set it up inside your locomotive, when you go into your menu and your timetable is, and this is the first station right here, which is always ends up being last on your list. So you go to your station B first, and that's where you're going to load your cargoes, and you're right there. And then the next station you put in there would be your station C, where you're going to unload your cargo from station B. And then on part of the second part of station C is where you're going to stop again, and then that's where your loading is. So you're going to load your cargo, and then you're going to go back to station B where you have the stuff there that you wanted to pick up, and you load that up, and then you go back to station A and you unload everything. So that is the basic circle it's going to pick. It's going to go to these 3 locations with 2 stops each, just to fill the cargo beds effectively. For an example, instead of adding a whole bunch of a huge long train that gets more and more complicated as you go along, you can start off being complicated at a small thing like that to get your trains up and running and everything running smoothly and on time. So that is the end of the example. I hope this basically helped you, and it's basically an easy one-way system. Like this would be much better than trying to loop around and whatever. But if you do get more complicated and you start having like 5 or 6 stations, and you want, you can line up your Pacific cargoes at each station and have 2 stops at each station, which requires, of course, 2 train stations at each stop to have it stop in 2 different directions, and then a place to turn around type thing. But at the start, just do the station A and station B, nice and simple, 1 line, and then you make sure you have room to expand and add more cargo bays, of course, and maybe another room to add an extra stop on its way back. So you have 2 stops. So I hope this helped for your basic train tutorial and how to get this stuff to work. So thanks for watching, and see you next time.